Welcome to the Planning Commission meeting, September 15th, 2021. Everybody please rise while we pledge allegiance to the flag. Remain standing for a moment of silence. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America,
and
to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Be seated, please. Sharon, roll call, please.
Mr. Stevenson?
Here.
Mr. Pacusa? Mr. Conway?
Here.
Ms. Krivda?
Here.
Ms. Montgomery? Here. Mr. Gearhart?
Here.
Mr. Walker?
Here.
Mr. Weldon?
Here. Seeing no additions, corrections, or deletions in the minutes from the last meeting, I'll make a motion to approve.
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
We've received a letter from the applicant for 21-5 ST. No, I'm sorry. Yes, that is correct. 21-5 ST and 21-3 C to remain tabled. So it will remain tabled. On item 21-2 C, is the applicant present?
Yes.
Please come forward. State your name for the record.
Good evening. My name is Lavette Smith. Good evening, everyone.
Ma'am, your item is tabled, and you were requested to provide more information to Mr. Weldon, and you have not done that. Without that information, we are not going to untable your item. You will need to set up a meeting with Paul to go over those issues before we can continue,
Okay.
all right?
May I request specifically, Paul, the additional items that you were expecting?
The stuff that we had mentioned at the previous planning commission where you presented, and the stuff we talked about on our phone call 2 months ago.
Right,
There's
so,
some photographs and information from property owners.
okay. So there was an additional item that I did mention to you, and if you still require that information after this additional item, if I may, I did mention that it seemed the main issue had been about the safety of the children, transporting them from one location or having them walk from one location to the other.
Excuse me, ma'am. This item is tabled. We're not going to go into any details until you have a meeting with Paul and go over the issues that were discussed.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Paul?
The final item on the agenda under new business, 21-5-C, Mark and Courtney Williams. Applicant is requesting conditional use approval to establish a church/school in an existing house pursuant to Monroeville zoning ordinance number 1443 as amended. Section 401, conditional uses, and table 201A, permitted uses, conditional uses, yard and area requirements. The property is located at 1830 Old Ramsay Road in the S Conservancy zoning district and known as tax parcel 861D134.
Thank you. Is the applicant present?
Yes.
Please come forward. Please sign in and state your name for the record.
My name's Mark Williams.
And I'm Courtney Williams.
Thank you. Present your item, please.
Yes, we have some documents to share in hopes of expediting the process for you all. No, that's for me. Is it okay if I?
Yes, please bring it forward.
Thanks. I also have just one copy of photos. I didn't have enough.
If you could place them in the center of that table,
Okay.
they will put them on the screen for us.
Oh, great.
cool.
Very high tech.
Give him a second to catch up. Just put it on that little tape mark there. it
Got
is.
you. Hey,
You can zoom in on it.
go ahead, Monroeville. I like that.
Great. Well, we recently purchased the property at 1830 Old Ramsay Road. We closed on the property July 15th. It's a 25-acre tract of land. It has a log home, as you can see here. The home was built in 1792. And it has a 2-story barn on the property as well. The property currently has a split zoning of S and R2, and we're here today to continue our application process for a conditional use for the property to be used as a school, not a church, but I understand the zoning is together. For the property, due to our intention of offering classes at our farm, which we learned in discussions with the zoning department before we even closed on the property, that we would need to get a conditional use to be able to offer classes. No new structures are intended to be built or amended, so we don't have a site map to share other than the map of the property that you saw. Also in your packet, there's another map of our property from the Allegheny County website, so you can get a closer picture of what where the house and barn are located. We're only asking for permission to use our current property as it is to offer classes to the community. Mark and I both have worked for the past 15 years in regenerative agriculture and permaculture, running urban agriculture community development projects within the city of Pittsburgh, working to turn vacant lots into productive gardens, teaching ecology classes and gardening classes to youth and families, selling produce to restaurants and at farmers markets, and we worked with the City of Pittsburgh Green Up program. We reclaimed an old baseball field and the 5-acre adjacent lot, turning that into Ball Field Farm. That's in the Perry South neighborhood of Pittsburgh on the north side. And we've both always dreamed of finding more land close to the city to serve us as we want to grow more food and also grow community. And so now, as we embark on transforming this 25-acre property into a small regenerative farm, it's our hope to just offer classes to the community in permaculture and sustainable gardening. So class topics could include anything. It's our intention to include topics hands-on learning in soil basics, fertility management, edible landscape design, water management, catchment and conservation, food forest establishment and management, succession planting and four-season vegetable production, hugelculture and swale establishment, no-till field management, plant propagation, and seed saving. Our currently proposed schedule would include offering small classes just once or twice a month at the property, meeting either at the barn or in the downstairs gathering spaces of the farmhouse. Our methods of cultivation don't involve large-scale, noisy, or extractive machinery. We use hand tools like broad forks and stirrupoes and shovels and trowels, just like our grandparents used to use to grow their food. And included in your packet are 2 letters of support from people we worked with, colleagues we had within the city of Pittsburgh in urban agriculture. Mark is also a mindfulness educator. He's a school teacher, a classroom school teacher, an elementary school teacher. And he offers individual and group classes that involve teaching skills of social emotional learning, empathy, kindness, and playful mindfulness practices that help children to navigate their wide range of emotions. There's a lot of research on the benefits of mindfulness for students, and Mark, as a classroom teacher, has seen that firsthand. He has his master's degree in mindfulness for educators, his master's degree in education. And so he teaches small group classes on the weekends or evenings and also offers individual sessions for students in mindfulness. He's currently been teaching classes most recently over Zoom due to COVID and safety protocols, but also in city parks within the city limits of Pittsburgh. And we're excited now to be able to potentially offer those services, those nature-based mindfulness classes at the farm as well. So as specified in the zoning ordinance, conditional uses shall be approved if and only if they're found to meet the following criteria. And so we're prepared to share how our conditional use will comply with all of these regulations. In section 401.1, the proposed use conforms to A, the district and conditional use provisions, and B, all general regulations of the ordinance. In regards to A, the district provisions for an S property require that the property have an area of at least 20,000 square feet, and our property exceeds that minimum at 25 acres. In regards to B, all general regulations of the ordinance, not all listed regulations, are applicable to our property and our project, so I'm not going to be talking about those in specifics, like site approval plan or signage. We don't have, none of that is relevant to our project. Section 401.2, the proposed
Do you
use.
mind if I interrupt for a
Yeah,
minute?
go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
Instead of going through all
Yeah,
3 pages
you guys
of
can
these,
read. Yeah.
you just want to see if the board has any questions for you?
Sure thing.
Sure. I mean, everything that I was just reading to you is written on the paper that you have, so
You have an extra copy.
I sure do.
I'll get-
For the record, thank you.
I do have an extra copy.
I appreciate it, thank you.
You mentioned that you plan to do the gardening twice a month.
Garden
basically.
classes, yeah.
How often do you plan to do the teaching?
It would just be on a case-by-case basis. So the actual group classes, I wouldn't do any more than like once a week on Saturdays, like just because of my work, like I wouldn't be able to do it otherwise. And a group class is like 10 kids, so it's not like a large scale.
Are you teaching now?
I'm currently the building sub at John Morrow Elementary School on the north side. I'm also teaching online and doing professional development for educators in the Clairton District, in Carnegie School District, and the Tillotson School District. So I do a lot of different things now, trying to piece together work since COVID. So
But all of these classes are supplemental income for our family. They're not full-time work.
Board members, any other questions for the applicant?
No.
you want to know my favorite?
Is that gonna be on the property?
It would be, yeah. I mean, if we get permission to, yeah. Until COVID's done, it would be like on the porch or on the back porch. So that's the way
Open
we're.
air type thing?
Yeah,
Right.
that's the hope for now.
Any animals involved?
I mean, not any.
Right.
You at least have a dog.
We have 2 dogs.
We have 2
Thank
dogs. We have 2 dogs. And there are plenty of deer and coyote on the property, just not animals.
Any
that
other
we're keeping.
questions from the board members? Anyone in the audience have any questions? Not seeing any, I'll entertain a motion.
Motion to approve.
I second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Sounds exciting.
Thanks. I make a motion to virtual high five.
Good luck.
Thank you so much.
Thank you all.
You're welcome.
Good luck.
Come out, come visit.
Okay,
Right.
thank you.
Yeah, I want to see this.
Yeah, come on down. Thanks, Paul.
I'm willing to entertain one more motion.
I motion that we adjourn the meeting.
I second. Meeting adjourned.